Hi, let's discuss about different types of vapor compression refrigeration cycles. We have understood in part 1 about working of vapor compression refrigeration cycle, assuming that at the compressor inlet we had dry saturated refrigerant vapor and outlet of the compressor was superheated vapor. Now we will discuss about different types of vapor compression refrigeration cycles in this video. Here we can list the types of VCR cycles. Here first one is the dry saturated vapor after compression, means the refrigerant is dry saturated after compression, means at the inlet of the compressor the refrigerant is in saturated mixture, saturated liquid plus vapor mixture it is, means it was wet. So that is the first case. Second case is the VCR cycle with wet vapor after compression. So here the refrigerant vapor is wet at the inlet of the compression and it is still wet at the outlet of the compressor. That is second type of VCR cycle. Third type is VCR cycle with superheated vapor after compression. After this third cycle we have already discussed and solved the numericals. Next one is cycle with superheated vapor before compression. At the compressor inlet itself the refrigerant vapor is superheated. Fifth one is the cycle with undercooling or subcooling of refrigerant. So we will understand this fifth case in detail in the next slides. Now let us begin with theoretical vapor power cycle with dry saturated vapor after compression. After compression means vapor is dry saturated after compression. For that reason we already know, we have discussed in detail about temperature entropy diagram and representation of the cycle on vapor dome on a TS diagram. As we know already, this is saturated liquid line, this is saturated vapor line. As title says, outlet of the compressor is dry saturated vapor, it must be dry saturated vapor. So outlet of the compressor is, according to our line diagram or schematic diagram, compressor outlet is represented by state 2. State 2 must be on dry saturated vapor line. This is saturated vapor line. Outlet of the compressor is state 2. State 2 I should represent it on saturated vapor line, dry saturated vapor line. So hence inlet of the compressor will be a wet refrigerant. Hence at the inlet of the compressor it is wet, it is indicated in the wet region, and at the outlet of the compressor it is dry saturated. It is not superheated as we had discussed in the initial VCR cycle. Now after compression it starts condensing. So at state 3 is represented on saturated liquid line. After condensation it expands in a expander, then 4 to 1 is evaporation. This is the cycle that we represent, and we assume 1 to 2 is a isentropic process. So hence S1 is equal to S2. Similarly pH diagram, this is the pressure enthalpy diagram, this is saturated liquid line, saturated vapor line. Here we have state 1 is in wet region, state 2 is represented on saturated vapor line. So as we are discussing a vapor compression refrigeration cycle wherein compressor outlet is a dry saturated vapor. As usual the other discussion remains same. Fourth one isenthalpic process, 3 to 4 is isenthalpic process because it is a throttling process or expansion process you can say. 4 to 1 we have represented here. On a pH chart, as we know, this is H1, H2, then H3 is equal to H4, and this is the condenser pressure, this is the evaporator pressure. So now here Again, refrigeration effect is H1 minus H4. This is the refrigeration effect per kg of refrigerant, but H4 is equal to HF at state 3, that is HF at condenser pressure. So therefore, refrigeration effect can be written as H1 minus H4, which is equal to H1 minus HF3, because H4 is replaced by HF3, both are equal. So it is mentioned in the reason box here. So then what is HF3? HF3 is sensible heat at temperature T3, or enthalpy of liquid refrigerant leaving the condenser. Now coefficient of performance for this cycle again remains same, H1 minus H4 divided by H2 minus H1, wherein H4 is replaced with HF3. Now let us discuss a numerical on this cycle. So where let me read the problem statement. A ammonia vapor compression refrigerator plant is there. It is operating between the evaporator pressure, he has given evaporator pressure here 1.907 bar it is, and condenser pressure also he has given, that is 15.57 bar. The vapor has dryness fraction of 0.8642 at entry to the compressor. As we are discussing about VCR cycle with wet refrigerant at the inlet of the compressor, the state of the refrigerant at the inlet of the compressor, he has given how much wetness, how much dry it is, only 86% dry. And if this is the condition, we are supposed to determine COP for the refrigeration COP and refrigeration effect produced for a work input of 1 kilowatt, means compressor is consuming 1 kilowatt of power. Now as the inlet of the refrigerant is only 86% dry, we will assume that the outlet of the compressor is a dry saturated vapor. We can compare during calculation also to determine the condition of the steam at the outlet of the compressor. As we have discussed in the previous problems on VCR, by considering the isentropic process 1 to 2, that is S1 is equal to S2, we can judge what is the state of the refrigerant at state 2. So now assuming the outlet of the compressor as dry saturated, so we can represent the cycle within the saturation vapor dome in this way. So now here we have evaporator pressure 1.907 bar and condenser pressure 15.57 bar, we have indicated on a TS diagram. Now let us write the given data. Power input to the compressor is, we are supplying 1 kilowatt, then P1 equal to P4, which is 1.907, then P2 is 15.57 bar, then again the dryness fraction x1, that is dryness fraction x at state 1, it is in wet region, he has given, it is 0.8642. Then if this is the given data, we are supposed to calculate COP for this cycle, then refrigeration effect is equal to question mark. So how much heat is being absorbed per kg of refrigerant which is flowing inside this refrigerator. Now we can obtain the properties, because we need properties for solving this problem. We can obtain the properties at evaporator pressure as well as condenser pressure. So the data is readily available in the data handbook. Which is the type of refrigerant that we have used in this refrigerator? It is ammonia. So we have to go to ammonia properties table in the data handbook and obtain the properties. So these are properties that we can obtain from the ammonia table, that is here we have HF1 equal to HF4, this is the data, and HFG we have noted down SG at 1.907 bar. Then again here we have saturation temperature, then HF HFG, SF, SFG at 15.57 bar. So we can get the these values from the ammonia table. So this is the table, so wherein we can identify the values for, see we can note down the values at 1.90 bar. So these are the values. We can note down enthalpy values and entropy values. Just pause this video and note down the values for comparison. Now these are the values that we noted down from the data handbook. After that, we know for determining the condition of the steam refrigerant at the compressor outlet, we always consider the process 1 to 2, wherein it is isentropic process. S1 is equal to S2. We can write what is the state of the or condition of the refrigerant at state 1 is, it is wet. So we can apply the formula. So we can write SF1 is equal to X1 into SFG1, which is equal to S2, means I replaced S1 by this formula, which is equal to S2. Now we have the values SF at 1, then 0.3684 it is SF1 here from the data that we have already noted down. I substituted there. Then X1 he has given, that is 0.8642 in the given data. Then SFG1 we have the value here, SFG1 this is 5.56. So here for SFG1 he has subtracted SG1 minus SF1, that is we know that SFG is equal to SG minus SF. So this is or SG is equal to SF plus SFG. So after substitution we are able to calculate S2 value as 4.855. Since this is, we can check the values, compare, and by that we are able to judge that S2 is equal to SG2. So hence the condition of the refrigerant is dry saturated at the outlet of the compressor. So hence we can proceed with the solution. So hence we need H1 value. H1 is HF1 plus X1 HF4 HFG. As H1 is in wet state, so we can apply the formula H1 is equal to HF plus X HFG. So this is the, for state 1 we have applied, use suffixes 1. So then we have HF1 value here 89.7 we have substituted. X1 he has given 0.8642 in the given data. So then HFG1 is, we have the value 1329.2. Operate the calculator, we will be able to calculate enthalpy at state 1. Then similarly enthalpy at state 2 is to be calculated. At state 2 the condition of the refrigerant is dry saturated. For dry saturated refrigerant we can use the formula from the basics. We know that Hg is equal to HF plus HFG it is. Actually if we multiply dryness fraction to this, dryness fraction value for a dry saturated state is 1. So hence it is HF plus HFG applied to state 2. Now HF2 plus HFG2. HF2 we have the value 371.7 we have substituted here. HFG2 we have the value, substitute the same value 1100.5. Finally, I am able to calculate H2 here. Then similarly, HF4 enthalpy at state 4, H4 I want to calculate. So, which is equal to, when I compare TS diagram, enthalpy at state 4 is equal to enthalpy at state 2, that is enthalpy at condenser pressure, that is HF4 it is. So, we have the value 89.7 kilojoule per kg that we can use for our calculation. So, then COP is H1 minus H4 divided by H2 minus H1. We substitute the calculated values here. So, I am able to calculate COP from this. We know that COP is given by total refrigeration effect divided by input power. COP is 4.91, we have calculated. Total refrigeration effect divided by input power is 1 kilowatt here. So, hence total refrigeration effect is 1 into 4.91 kilowatt it is. This is kilojoule per second, 4.91 kilojoule per second. If I multiply it by 60, it will be kilojoule per minute, 294.7 kilojoule per minute. Then divide this value by 210, because 1 TOR is equal to 210 kilojoule per minute it is. So, hence I am able to calculate the total refrigeration in terms of TOR as 1.4 TOR. This is the solution for the problem on first type of VCR cycle. Then let us go ahead for another type of a VCR cycle. So, wherein theoretical vapor power cycle with wet vapor after compression. After compression itself we will be having wet vapor, means inlet is also wet, outlet is also wet. So, this is the temperature entropy diagram, wherein we have vapor dome, saturated liquid line and vapor line, wherein inlet of compression itself is wet and outlet of the compression is also wet. Why? We are discussing about a cycle wherein outlet of the compressor is, after compression is wet vapor. Hence 2 to 3 is condensation, 3 to 4 is expansion, again 4 to 1 is evaporation. This is the temperature entropy diagram for the given title. Then we have pressure enthalpy diagram. As we know, we can draw it. One inlet of the compression is, state 1 is in wet region, outlet of the compression 2 is also in wet region. Just observe, there is a gap between saturated vapor line and state 2. Hence, state 2 is marked in the wet region. COP for this again remains same, H1 minus H4 divided by H2 minus H1, where H4 is replaced by HF at state 3 condenser pressure, because 3 to 4 is isenthalpic process, that is HF3 is equal to H4. Hence, let us discuss one problem on such type of cycle. I will read the problem statement. A refrigeration plant works between temperature limits. Now, in this problem statement he has given temperature limits minus 5 degrees Celsius, this is evaporator temperature. Then we have 25 degrees Celsius, that is condenser temperature. The working fluid is ammonia. See, the refrigerant he has given used is ammonia, has a dryness fraction of 0.62. Just observe here, at the inlet of the compressor the ammonia condition is only 62% dry, means it is too wet refrigerant which is entering the compressor, entry to the compressor. Then if a machine has relative efficiency, that is machine efficiency is only 55%, calculate the amount of ice formed in a duration of 24 hours. So, how much quantity of ice this refrigerator is able to produce for us. Then the ice is to be formed at 0 degree Celsius from during a period of 24 hours, means we have to begin from 0 degree Celsius. The ice is to be formed 0 degree Celsius from the water at 15 degree Celsius. the water used for manufacturing the ice in the problem statement is, the water is having 15 degrees Celsius temperature, and 6.4 kg of amount is circulated per minute. See, ice per minute, and latent heat of ice is 335 kilojoule per kg. So this is one of the VTU problem. Now let's discuss into the TS diagram. Here we draw saturated vapor line. This is saturated liquid line. Inlet of the compression is 0.62 only, that is 62% dry. Outlet of the compressor, at present I assume that it is wet, and I will draw the cycle at present. Then 3 to 4. Here he has given minus 5 degrees Celsius as evaporator temperature, then 25 degrees Celsius as condenser temperature. Now he has the, let's note down the given data, that is x1, that is dryness fraction at inlet of the compressor is only 62%. Then actual COP of the refrigerator he has given as 55% of theoretical COP, that is relative efficiency of this refrigerator. Then mass flow rate of refrigerant he has given 6.4 kg per minute. We are supposed to calculate mass of the ice formed in a duration of 24 hours. Here we need properties of ammonia refrigerant at the given condenser temperature and evaporator temperature. So at 25 degrees Celsius, from the ammonia table, how to refer we have understood from the previous problem statements. We can note down HF value, HFG value, then SF value at 25 degrees Celsius. Then at minus 5 degrees Celsius, HF, HFG and SF values we can note down. The same values will be used for solving this numerical. Now as usual, we consider the process 1 to 2, we equate entropies, because 1 to 2 is an isentropic process. For S1, as it is in wet condition, I can write the formula SF1 is equal to, that is SF1 is equal to S1 is equal to SF1 plus X1 SFG1, because state 1 is a wet refrigerant, that is for any wet region we can apply this formula SF plus X SFG. And again state 2 is also wet, we have assumed, that is SF2 plus X2 SFG2. As we have assumed state 2 is also wet, we have applied the same formula for state 2 also. We know that SF1 I am keeping as it is, dryness fraction I am keeping as it is, SF1 I am writing in terms of enthalpy and saturation temperature, because we know saturation temperature and enthalpy from the refrigerant table. That is, on any TDS temperature entropy diagram, this area, that is temperature T into change in entropy, that is T into delta S, is always, this represents change in enthalpy. So therefore I can write T delta H is equal to T into delta S. Here therefore delta S is equal to delta H upon T. Same formula has been used here, that is HFG1 divided by T saturation 1. Means for the present problem, here this is saturated liquid line, saturated vapor line, 1 to 2 process it is, 1 to 2 process. So wherein state 1 is at saturation temperature of the evaporator, state S2 is at T saturation 2 here. So we have T saturation 2 for state 2, T saturation 1 for state 1. and corresponding HFG values also. So hence after replacing SFG terms with corresponding enthalpy and saturation temperatures in for both state 1 and state 2, our duty is to substitute the data that is available with us. Here SF1 I have to substitute this as 0.630, then x2 he has given as x1 he has given it as a 62% dry, that is 0.62, HFG1 that is 1280.8, then again T saturation is -5 plus 273, that is temperature of the refrigerant at state 1 is -5 degrees Celsius. And again for SF2 we have the value from the refrigerant table. X2 is unknown for me, X2 is unknown, I want to calculate X2 value. Then again here I have HFG2, then temperature of the refrigerant in condenser is 25 degrees Celsius. So I am converting it to Kelvin by adding 273. If I operate the calculator for this equation, only X2 is unknown, I will get it as 0.63. Now from this we can conclude that the outlet of the compressor is also having wet refrigerant 0.63, only 63% dry it is. Inlet it is 62%, compressor inlet it is only 62% dry, at the outlet of the compressor it is 63% dry. Now we will calculate enthalpies at all the points, that is 1, 2 and 4, because I need enthalpy values for calculation of COP. First enthalpy H1 I am calculating. H1 is equal to, what is the condition of the refrigerant at state 1? It is wet. So I can apply the formula HF plus XHFG. Applying to the state 1, I have the values data from the state 1, I will substitute them here. X1 is 0.62 given, and finally I am able to calculate H1 here. Then after that I will calculate H2, that is enthalpy at state 2. Since state 2 is also wet, I can apply the formula HF plus XHFG for state 2. For state 2 we have all these values, I will substitute in this, I am able to calculate H2, and in this step we have X2 which is calculated by us already. Then again H4 for H4 which is equal to HF at 0.3, that is HF at 0.3 is HF at 25 degrees Celsius. So hence I have 298.9 kilojoule per kg, I can use the same. Now we calculated the enthalpy values at different states. Here we can calculate the COP now by substituting all the enthalpy values as 7.98. Then COP actual for the present refrigerator can be calculated by using the given data, that is the refrigerator efficiency is only 55%. Theoretically we have calculated. Why this is theoretical COP? Because by assuming all isentropic processes, ideal processes, we have calculated this COP. This is theoretical COP, but actual COP is different. So therefore actual COP of the refrigerator is 55% of the theoretical COP, that is 4.39. Finally I am able to calculate this. This COP value I will use for calculating total refrigeration effect or mass flow of refrigerant. Hence I can calculate a heat extracted from the refrigerated space or from the water, that is refrigeration effect per kg as COP into work done, COP actual I need to consider actual because the refrigerator is working for actual conditions. This is COP 4.39 that we have calculated. Work done is change in enthalpy during compression process, that is H2 minus H1. We have all these enthalpy values that we have calculated. Substitute, I am able to calculate refrigeration effect as 359.1 kilojoule per kg. Now total refrigeration effect, how to calculate total refrigeration effect? I can write this as change in the temperatures